Nick, thanks for hanging out with me today, man.
Thanks, Palmer.
Yeah, so I want to talk all about Old Republic, obviously, but to get to the beginning of that, I got to get to the beginning of you and alcohol. So tell me about your first ever alcoholic beverage.
It was definitely Sambuca, which is a terrible
Yes.
way to start your voyage onward into the different arrays of spirits. But my dad liked Sambuca, and if sneaking a bottle or whatever drink when you're a little bit younger or not of age. I kind of like the story of Sambuca, that it's kind of an old mafioso drink that you pour a little into a snifter and you drop three coffee beans into it, which represent the Trinidad for old Italian men. And we didn't do that. We just drank it out of the bottle playing Mario Kart. And that's not what you're really supposed to do.
Can you get a DUI for that?
Yeah, it's the good thing is we never left our house. I don't even know if we had cars back then.
There's gonna be some like Koopa like with the lights on me, like no, we can tell you're Mario Karting in Sambuca right now.
Everybody knows that feeling though of that stickiness. Once it gets on your hands and you start your night that way, it just doesn't go away. It lingers and it stays with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I imagine. Wait, so how is your relationship with licorice now? Does that give you flashbacks, or are you okay, man?
Oh, I can't stand it. I can't. I don't know if you ever like look back at your life at a certain point and was like, like it could have been Zima back in the day. It could have been like, oh, it's just like these weird choices. Hypnotic. I remember we brought Hypnotic camping when I was in college one year.
Oh,
It was like, here we are in Michigan on the dunes, on Lake Michigan. It's beautiful. And four white guys from St. Charles, Illinois are like rocking Hypnotic out of hiding it under the sleeping bag because there's actually no alcohol allowed in state parks in Michigan. But I for the most part though, I've made good choices. I will say that. I mean, a few blemishes, few black eyes, but I'm actually pretty happy with my palate so far.
oh yeah, and plus, when it comes to drinking, there are no bad choices, only interesting ones that we learn from and never go back to again because it triggers like flashbacks and that gag reflex.
Well, not to sound contrary, but I will give you two instances of really bad decisions. One is the night that we decided to play beer pong. And actually, instead of using beer, we used Bacardi 151. That was actually it was just a bad decision.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I stand corrected. That was a stupid decision. I'm with you on that one.
I mean, it was just absolutely it was just not a good idea. And then I don't know if you ever played Power Hour.
Oh yeah.
Power Hour is if you got a good group of friends together and you just want to like hit it and you want to hit it good and hit it hard. Power Hour is good because you're supposed to take a shot of beer every minute for an hour or so, which I think equates to like 15 beers or something. But this particular night, we were at my parents' house. They were on the East Coast away, leaving me there for whatever reason, thinking that it was a good idea to leave their college son in charge. And we decided to do Power Hour that night with Jose Cuervo instead of beer. So it was a shot of tequila every minute. And I'm proud to report that I lasted 7 minutes and actually just hit the toilet. And when I mean hit the toilet, not like puking, I mean like I actually hit it so hard I knocked out the rest of the night. So again, not to sound contrary, but those are like whenever I'm talking to people about bad decisions, I can give you two Bacardi 151 and tequila.
You know what? I stand corrected. You're right. You make terrible decisions. Speaking of terrible decisions, obviously going from Sambuca to Hypnotic to bar owner with past with a weird relationship with drinking, but don't we all? So tell me how you came to Old Republic, how you were like, this is what I want to do. This is how I connect with people. And I love this kind of thing. And I want this to be my job and my fun. Tell me about that journey for you.
That's a good question, actually. The journey kind of started a long time ago.
That was hilarious. I'm sorry. That was so fucking hilarious. Yeah. Just the,
That's George. That's one of the managers here.
Hey, George.
The printer is right behind me, and that's like the holy grail of most businesses, like wherever the printer might be. I'd gotten into this business, in the restaurant business, in 1999 in St. Charles, and except for a brief time where I actually went to film school, I actually did make a feature-length movie after leaving Los Angeles and coming back here. I had the opportunity to rejoin the restaurant business because my wife and her family had they started the Village Squire and Rookies in Alexander's, which is a fairly large chain, family chain out here in the burbs. And we had I always had this idea for something different or something a little bit, anytime you're on the suburbs, like directly that way, which is west, is actually like farmland. I mean, we're like on the outskirts of like civilization, which is towards you. And then behind me is actual like corn. So I've always thought that with the suburbs of Chicago, you need to take baby steps to bring new, exciting things this way. You can't just go all out. It's not going to work. I think people, aren't quite ready sometimes for spice or things that are just a little bit different and whatnot. But we thought we could take some ideas and some cues from all of our places and infuse it with a new place. And the Old Republic was born because we grabbed a whole bunch of American specialties from around the country. And America being a republic, it seemed like an apt name for that. The Village Squire has a red lion. We have a bear because I did spend time in Los Angeles and California when I was making movies. And we have a smoker here. We smoke 3 different meats, brisket, turkey breast, and our ribs. We do things from Minnesota. We do things from the Bayou. We do things not in a zany way, but we just do things that are kind of like the regional specialty from different places, and that's kind of a fun way to go about planning for a place.
Yeah, well, so obviously your patriotic theme, and then hearing how you love your suburban like kind of juxtaposition between that cornfield and that civilization, as you put it, obviously community, big piece of this for you. So what would you say is your favorite thing about the Old Republic community that you feel you've been able to like lend your hand in creating, that you've like contributed to this community?
Well, I'd say that we've done it together. And what I mean by that is we opened in 2018. So we had a couple years before the pandemic had started. And we had, of course, grown to know a lot of people that come on a weekly basis to patronize the restaurant. And when the pandemic had started last year, it really, from a leadership standpoint for us, kind of turned into, okay, what are we going to do? And not so much this kind of sucks, this isn't fair. We really, the list of things that the Old Republic did last year in the pandemic is actually, I think, pretty impressive. And like you saw George behind me come in and the staff that we have here. I'm not exaggerating when the Old Republic, which was just a former Lone Star building, went from pandemic shutdown. We just had takeout. So then we converted everybody to delivery drivers and expos and phone taker people. And from there, McHenry County had actually done they had started drive-in movies again because it was outdoors. It was like one of the first things that people could actually do outside of their house. And because I had made a movie before, I was like, well, what if we did a drive-in here? Because we're actually in front of a movie theater. We're actually in front of the Elgin Marcus Theater. And there's a fairly large parking lot in our subdivision. So like, all right, let's try it. Let's actually show Munger Road, which is the movie that I made, out on a giant screen. We'll sell tickets. People will be in their cars. We can sell food because we're a restaurant, of course. We have drinks and whatnot. From there, we did a car wash to keep people employed. So if you came and got your food out front, we had a free car wash complimentary. You didn't even need to buy anything. If you were just kind of needed your car wash, we had people out there working to clean your car. And then after the drive-in, we had outdoor dining. So we actually had the largest tent ever in the suburbs put in front of the building, and nobody else really had one. So we kind of became the go-to place in the sense that we had a really nice tent. We had a really nice setup. The food was always good. Staff was always good. While we were doing that, we converted the entire south end of our entire lot, like our entire parking lot, into the largest patio experience in Kane County and probably most of the area as far as square footage goes. and we just never looked back. I mean, we were just kept on. I mean, this year we had 3 professional wrestling live events. This upcoming Saturday, we're actually going to have the largest party of the year. We have a freestyle DJ night, which we've had some success with that in the past. We've had Chris Farley's brother, Kevin Farley, do stand up here.
Wow.
It's just been, I guess I'm rattling on all these things because
those are amazing.
It's the only reason why that was all possible was from the support that we had, from everybody in the community. Great ideas are just that. They are great ideas, but for them to actually come to fruition, for them to actually work, takes a staff. It takes really, really, really passionate people about getting behind a business and being supportive. And that's how we've gotten to where we've gotten. And kudos to, especially this year and last year, a lot of young people propping up this country, working, college, school. It's not easy to juggle all those things, especially in this environment. And I would say that our contribution back is being able to have a place for somebody that needs to make an extra couple bucks or wants a sense of community with a staff, friends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm very proud of that.
That's awesome. And just as a person that enjoys the drinks of Old Republic, thank you for being such a good, obviously, boss and person that wants to bring that to the community, because you do add something to this community through that alcohol. Like it's not just alcohol. Everyone knows that in this industry. Everyone knows that drinks it. It's not just alcohol. It is community. And as much as the community supported you guys, you are supporting this community. And that's why we have Thursday on Rock 95.5. And thank you so much for being a part of it, man. But tell me all about what you have for the vision of Old Republic's future, whether it's the rest of this year or the years that you have coming up.
Well, it's just to be kind of relevant in the culinary scene, and relevant in the also with drinks. And to be honest with you, my background is not very good with drinks. As you can recall, I'm more of a Sambuca, Zima.
I was gonna say, I can't believe that your drinks aren't like what, but like your palate seems so refined with Zima and Sambuca.
So when we started this place, I had to learn a lot. I'm not a big alcohol person in terms of, I would have an absolute soda or an absolute gimlet or something as my drink.
Right.
So for me, it's really just learning something every day, and doing things that are kind of at the very envelope of where we're going. The best answer I can give you to your question, though, is we have a lot of repair to do with this industry. If you worked in this industry during the pandemic, and had you been in the business for a year, 5 years, a month, 10 years, I can understand if you question your loyalty to it, because you were public enemy number one for about a year and a half. You're getting yelled at constantly. There was definitely high points as well, but all across the board, and at least for all of our places, it was a very tumultuous time, and that doesn't mean that it's just our sector or Old Republic. It means in general.
Oh, yeah.
The good news is we had alcohol, and it's like everybody, can at least get a break with having a drink or two. And I think really the future with the OR, as we call it, is just staying relevant, staying positive. And the two mantras that I've been operating on since March of 2020 is don't stress out about things that are outside of your control and worry about the things that you can control. And that's it.
I think it just went to therapy. This felt like a therapy session, Nick. I'm not going to lie, which I got to say, that's what Old Republic has been helping people do. That's therapy. Going into a bar and kicking your feet up with your friends and talking and getting that sense of community. That is our therapy. It's helped us through the pandemic, and we are pumped to have you on Rock 95.5 to kind of return that favor. And thank you for this therapy session.